this match review comes to us from Phantom, who has 1K plus hours. So in that adept zone of Dead by Daylight, we're expecting you to know most fundamentals in the game without having to be told or directed to it. They're playing Demogorgon, the Demogorgon on Pale Rose, which is Pale Rose is a very icky map and it can go kind of either way, to be honest with you. It kind of just depends how it spawns, how the pier spawns, how, you know, how many resources are in the middle. This could be a dead zone, it could be not. It's a very, you know, back and forth kind of map, so it's kind of hard to judge it just based on seeing the map alone. But let's go ahead and take a look at your add-ons and your build. All right, so you have Blackheart and Barb's Glasses, which are the best two add-ons on demo. So you get that Tread recovery and Pallet recovery, so that's good. Your build is fine. Your build's perfect. Deadlock Corrupt buys you a lot of time, especially with somebody like Demo, where you should be setting down portals. It helps you, you know, mitigate the time lost setting down your portals. No Way Out buys even more time at the end of the match. So obviously your perk build so far synergizes well with the character that you're playing, your base kit. And Ultimate Weapon is just a very, very nice info perk. So yeah, perfect build, perfect add-ons. Nothing to say there. Always good to put a portal nearby where you spawn. Always a good idea. So good that you did that. A lot of people right near you right away. Hey, Shabu, I feel like I've been in this place before. I feel like I've reviewed this before. I certainly haven't, but it feels like I have. Hey, I've told you this before. I've told you this before. What are you doing? I told you not to put portals that close to gens for more than one reason. Because, well, within that 8 meters, they hear you come out of the portal. So they can hear you coming. And obviously, if you put them out in plain sight, they see you coming. So I've told you to stop doing this in particular, and you just kind of don't listen to me when I do that. And I don't know what the... this has been something I've told you almost every single match review that you've submitted is, hey, stop doing that. And you go, I know better. I'm going to keep doing it. So please take this advice. Please stop ignoring me. You don't want to end up like the other people where I have given the same advice like 3 or 4 times. And I'm eventually just like, hey, if I see this happen in a match again, you're out E5000. I'm not reviewing this match anymore. I'm not reviewing match reviews from you anymore as long as you do this bad habit. So stop doing this. If you submit another match review where you're putting portals right out in the open, right up against stuff, like, not in my house. Not in my house. Stop doing this. Please listen to my advice. Because that do be the whole point of match reviews, is so I can help you. And if you're just not going to listen to me, then like, whatever. I'm also confused why you use Ultimate Weapon and you don't go after any of the people here. Okay, there you go. I was like, please actually kill somebody. Okay. Yeah, he's looping this kind of oddly. Yeah, his pathing was a little weird there. I would have also probably got a little skimazed. Ooh, good dodge on his part. I feel like I've reviewed this before. I can't place it. I feel like I've seen this before. Like, down to, like, that guy dodging that exact way. Like, feels weird. Big case of deja vu right now. Okay, so this is a tiny little thing that I've touched on, I think, in like one other match review. If you are hooking someone, hooking them all the way in the back of the map like this is not particularly beneficial to you, because unless it's convenient, of course. Like if you downed him back here like Poglog, yeah, go ahead and throw him on the back hook or the hook in the back of the map. But like what you're doing right here is like, as the killer in Dead by Daylight, you have like ambient pressure just by like existing. Like people hear your terror radius, people don't know if you're coming after them or what you're up to. Of course, unless they're a 4-man on comms, then they're calling it out. But you know, if that's not the case, you kind of have ambient pressure because people aren't sure what you're up to and what you're doing. So just being a presence on the map applies pressure to the map as killer. So what you do is when you pick somebody up like this and you go to hook them like opposite of where you know anybody is. So like there's no gen over here, there's no survivors that you've seen over here, there's nothing to pressure over here. You're doing like yourself a disservice by hooking them back in this corner because you're wasting time walking away from all of the hot spots and the rest of the match. You're walking away from pressuring anything and just kind of like cornering yourself. So it's always better in Dead by Daylight, if you can help it, to hook survivors on the way to what you plan to pressure next. Hook them on the way to your next objective. Don't walk out of your way to hook them in a corner. And the thing I hear most in retort to this is like, well, if I go out of my way to hook them in the corner, it's going to take the survivors longer to walk and go get them. Perhaps, if you're absolutely certain that nobody's over there, which you may not know. And secondly, it's a waste of time for both of you, which is a net, that's not a net positive for you, right? Like if you waste time and they waste time, you're basically in the same spot. So might as well save yourself some time, which is a net positive. So yeah, that's my retort to that. So don't do this, essentially. This is the point of setting up your portals. I know a lot of demos just don't set up portals ever, and I completely disagree with that, because this right here, now you're just back in the middle of the map, you know? EA bag. Yeah, he's out in a big old dead zone. Definitely chasing. Yeah, nothing to defend himself with there. That was a free hit. Good fake. Smart. You had that. That was good. That was good. You just flubbed the execution. If you had come around that corner snappier and lunged, you would have hit that. That was a good play. You just failed the execution. So in the future, attempt that again, because it was just down to execution. That was a good play. Yeah, if you hadn't hesitated, you would have got that. Goomba stopping. Good old John made for this. Da-da-da-da-da. Pop. I feel like I've seen this match review before. Have you said this to me? Because I also remember going, you keep opening doors with ultimate weapon and not necessarily chasing people down. Like, you've done this multiple times this match where you've just kind of like opened a door with ultimate weapon and just not necessarily gone after the people that get highlighted by the perk. So either you've sent me this match review before or you're making like literally the exact same mistakes that you have before. Which means that you're not listening. You're not listening. So, yeah, don't let your info perks go to waste. If the info perk tells you, hey, guy over here, don't ignore it to go off on a random side quest. Like, go chase that's what the info perks are for. Info perks in the game are, for killer, are, hey, there's somebody to chase over here. Go start a chase. They're essentially chase starters. That's like their function, right? So, like, don't get procs on ultimate weapon and not chase anybody. Yes, chase. Do it. Okay, you know somebody's back there. Okay, you try to mind game this guy, and it works. There you go. I like your cheekiness to use to get black heart value, even though you could have M1'd them. Ooh, that was a good one. That was a good shred. That was a good shred. By the way, this is why I recommend like demos not use save the best for last. Because, like, other demos in that situation would probably tailgate the ace trying to get save value, when realistically you could have ended that chase a lot quicker, just like you did. That's why save is good on demo, but it's also kind of a crutch. You could theoretically be ending a lot of your chases much quicker if you just, like, went for a spicy M2 like that, you know? I'm gonna tell you something. Cool. with ultimate weapon, with teleporting characters like this or high movement characters, what I would like to see you start doing if you want the most value of ultimate weapon is opening a locker before you teleport. Because what you'll do is you'll come out and you'll be undetectable for a little bit, which is, you know, you're going to waste a little bit of your time. But once you're undetectable, something goes away, you're going to have like a ton of screams all around you. So not only are you undetectable, so they don't hear you coming, but suddenly you're going to suddenly get a terror radius, suddenly get a lot of info on where everybody is, and possibly get the drop on people. So I would challenge you as demo using ultimate weapon to check a locker and then teleport, and then kind of get like sudden info value and kind of get the drop on them. I think you could get a lot more value out of the perk that way. Oh, you just got a little excited. You could hit that. Oh, unfortunate. He played that right. He played that safe. Yeah, that's not a very strong pallet, so you wisely, where are you going? Oh, good read. I wouldn't have guessed for him to path that way. Good read. I thought he would, like, you know, go back to the safe pallet to his, that was to his right. But you had a better read on him than I did. That's honestly one of the things I struggle with as a player, is like foreseeing that somebody would make a subpar decision, right? Like somebody would play willingly and efficiently. I just assume everybody I'm facing is on like the same like level of play that I am, just because we are in a match together, you know? So like, good job to go for the guy who's, you know, guy out in the open by Pride Rock as opposed to the guy going into Shack. That right there is a very, very, very good killer skill that I actually don't see a lot of killers have, and it's where I see a lot of killers suffer. And it's something, it's so tiny, but it could save you so much headache. No pun intended. Code headache. You can get 20% off your rogue products. It saves you a lot of headache because you had a choice there. You could chase Ace at Shack, which is one of the best generic tiles in the game, or you saw John made for this, good old Gabe over there, buy Pride Rock with nothing to use. So many killers just kind of chase the first person they see, and they just don't really think about like how much of a time investment this chase is about to be. So if I look at that Ace going into Shack, that's going to be a long time investment. Even if I'm really, really good at chase, like he can drop the safe pallet. That window is really, really good. Like that's going to be a time investment, no matter how good I am. Whereas the chase with Gabe is going to be relatively quickly because I essentially am guaranteed a free hit because he's in a dead zone. And then even if he makes it to a pallet, that would have been way, way, way faster than if I had chased the guy at the homie at Shack, right? So one of the things you should do as killer is do what Phantom just did, which is kind of look at two chases and think about which one is going to be more time, which one is going to be more of a time investment based on the resources around them, and just go for the one that is like obviously the one that's going to waste less time. Another perfect example of this, somebody running towards like main building besides like a path tile, like you gotta measure in your head like how much time is this going to take and go for the one that it takes less. So yeah, that was a really smart thing that Fam just did. Honestly, you're not playing bad. I think they just have toolboxes and gen perks. The only thing you're kind of doing is kind of like lollygagging a bit when it comes to like your ultimate weapon value, but that's fairly minor. You're getting good shreds. You're not taking bad chases or long chases. You now have all 4 stacks and no way out, so you're set up for the endgame. It's really good. Yeah, you're not really playing poorly. It's just like you're not getting the mostest out of your perk value. Okay, good. Cut off the saber. The way he just camped that is so cute. Oh, you got robbed. I think you should have hit that. I've been hit by that. If you were a little bit laggy, you know, jiggle the Ethernet cord, you would have hit that. The pains of playing with good internet. You actually get punished. It sucks. How dare you have good internet? That one you weren't gonna hit. That one was amphibious. That's a joke, by the way. I know the word is ambitious. That one was a little amphibious. You weren't gonna hit that one. Okay. Ooh. Wow. And he dodges that. Wow. Okay. So, what I would have done in that situation is, like, even though you, like, trust me, I play Xenomorph, which is another character that's very anti, you know, window utility. One of the things you can do there is, this is going to sound super funny, but it won't work against good teams, but a little trick you can do there at this exact spot is you could try to kind of like funnel him into you by double vaulting here. So you vault here to chase after him, and he's not even looking. He's already just like holding the wall here to the right. And if you back up and vault again, he's going to be really close to you, which is going to force him back to the left and run this way. But the thing is, you have gained so much distance that as an M2 killer, you come around this corner right here holding your shred, and he has two options: either go to the pallet and die, or vault through the window and die. And all you have to do is guess right. All you have to do is get the read on like which way he's going to go. So in the future, I would use this as an opportunity to gain more distance on them by vaulting back through. So you get close enough to him, that way you can actually prepare a shred. Because the way you ended up doing it, like, you just kind of like do like a little, like, you do like a little moonwalk here, and he does end up vaulting into you because he's not the, you know, there's no reason for him to vault here. Like, there's really not. There, like, in the future, this is this ace making a mistake. There's no reason for him to vault here. He should have just run all the way around and played the pallet. There's no reason to vault back into you. This is him making a mistake. You should not expect survivors to do this consistently. This is him playing inefficiently. You should play it the way I told you to. And the fact that he dodged that is pretty cool. Like, that's not you playing bad. That's him just paying attention, playing well. Which is good. Oh, you could have been more patient with that. This chase is starting to get pretty long, too. Yeah, you could have been more patient with that. And he just runs back into you. Okay. Homie is not paying attention. Hello? Okay, there you go. We're getting a Mori Monday from the match reviews. That was a really lengthy chase, though. And it wasn't necessarily because you I mean, there was that one thing you could have done better, but he was playing well, too. Dribbling for DS, yeah. You know what's funny? Before I saw that, I had heard that phrase in the DB community before, like, dribbling for DS. I thought it was like mouth dribbling, not like basketball dribbling, because until I actually saw it, I was like, what are you dribbling over a DS? Like, what do you mean? See? That right there, that's what I was telling you about earlier. He didn't know you were coming, and then all of a sudden, you pop up, your undetectable goes away, and you know where everybody is. Because they didn't expect where you're going to pop up. That right there. Perfect example. Do that more. DS just makes me drool. That's it. I was like, what are people talking about? It's the DVD community. They're weird, right? Even back then I knew that. I was like, oh, God, these guys are just on. That's an extra wingspan hit. Wouldn't I got that pre-buff. But hey, let me take this. Okay, so you know through Deadlock that that's your, for this progress gen. I would go kick that, actually. This would be a good example of when it's a good time to try kick. Yeah, they kind of didn't give you time to, because, you know, they're all right there. That gen's probably going to get done. Honestly, this is a hard one. This is tough. This is not you, like, how dare you, you dumb idiot. You know, like, this is actually a tough one. Because, like, you can chase him, and if your chase with him is, like, super, super short, this is good. But if it's not, you have two survivors near boat on a, like, a 70% plus gen. Is not good. I honestly here, I would risk it and leave Bill and go make sure that gen doesn't get done. That's what I would do. I mean, you have no way out, so you can just kind of say screw it and play the end game. That is an option, but personally I would. He had Addy too. Yeah, see, you kind of let them do the gen there. And you can't even say you didn't know they were there because he just unhooked him in your face, right? He just unhooked him in your face. So like you can't say you didn't know they were over there. That's unfortunate. Oh, No Way Out is immediately procced. Holy moly. Yeah, they're gaming. There's a lot of this that's just them playing well. I wouldn't feel too terribly about this, to be honest with you. Not a whole lot of this is like you making very, very crazy mistakes as much as them just like also playing as well as you are. Good, good. Using your portals to kind of man the door. Smart. You need to open that, brother. You don't get Aura reading on those, or Killer Instinct reading on those unless they're open. You gotta travel through that. I would have run through that. Yeah, you don't get, unless you have specific add-ons, you don't get the Killer Instinct when somebody's over it unless you travel through it, so, oops. Oops. Should have done that. That's not good. That's not good at all. So you set up a portal over one door. Don't go through the portal to activate it so you get Killer Instinct, and then you don't put a portal next to the other door. It seems like you were kind of like setting up to play the endgame smart by using your power, and then you just kind of like give up on it like right away. I don't know why you do that. It's kind of interesting to me. Okay, so he's just gonna get... Yeah, now he's just gonna go get Bill, and they're gonna do the door, and they're gonna leave. And he just gives up, so... Why you? Ambitious move to Slug here. Very ambitious. Okay, you actually beat him to the door, which is crazy. I wonder if they tried to heal up first. Like, why didn't they get to the door? Because you were them right next to the door. There was no reason they shouldn't have it. Yeah, pick him up, pick him up. Good, good. Good, good. You're playing this. And, yeah, I think Gabe is dead, too, so... Realistically, it's just Ace getting out here. Yeah, that door's already ready. Don't even push him out. Just go pick up Gabe. Yeah, go pick up John made for this. Because he's done. He's done. He's out of here. No reason to stick around. Yeah, I don't think this is so much you playing badly as like there was some stuff that we'll talk about, but like they just played as good as you were. This was a very back and forth match. As a matter of fact, if you hadn't slugged there, which was the right play, it was a very risky play, but it was a smart play. You wouldn't even gotten the 3K here. There's been the 2 out. Okay, I want to see what they had in terms of perks. Okay, there were 2 toolboxes, like I said. Whoa, Ace! Whoa, Deja Vu! Scavenger, Stakeout, Hyperfocus. That's why the gens were going quick. This guy, it was the Ace. Modius Toolbox with Charge and Speed. That's... This homie's disgusting. This homie's gross! Whoa! Who hurt this man? Why is he running the that he is running? Alright, so, in terms of your main takeaways with this match, like I said, a lot of this was... You played this match fairly well. And a lot of this boiled down to just them playing well... like them playing well as well. And it wasn't really too much your fault. But there's some small things, some minor things that you were doing poorly that could have made your life a little easier and probably saved you a little bit of a headache. So your first thing is your portals. I've told you more than once. You have portals, they have a map-wide sound that you're teleported at all, but they only hear you coming out of the portal if you're within 8 meters of them. So if you put your portal more than 8 meters away and you put it behind some, like a tree or some foliage or like behind a wall, they're not gonna see you coming. And this can potentially give you the drop on survivors, even though you got those big stompy feet. So you're still not doing this. I don't know why. You kind of just outright refused this advice. This is gonna be the last time I'm gonna tell you. I don't mean that in like a scolding way, but just personally, like, this is something you should be doing to improve your demo game, and you're just not doing it. And at a certain point, I can only say it so many more times before I'm blue in the face. So like, please start doing this. Please start doing this. It'll save you. It'll get you some plays that, you know, you're leaving on the table. Some extra pressure that you're leaving on the table. So definitely do that. Second thing, which is once again another thing that I've told you before, and you're still not doing in terms of the match reviews that I've given you as a takeaway before. Your second takeaway is that you kind of like dilly-dally sometimes when you use ultimate weapon. Like you'll open a locker, see a bunch of people scream, and not directly go chase after them. You'll just kind of like let them hang out. And I don't know why you do that precisely. Like you go off on some sort of side quest or something, and it's like, well, if you plan to put down portals and you weren't done putting down portals, don't use your ultimate weapon yet. Save it for when you're done putting your portals down. Because your ultimate weapon is essentially just making you as the killer a heat-seeking missile to go start a chase as soon as possible. So if you just like get that info and don't utilize it, it's wasted info. So make sure that when you're using make sure that when you use ultimate weapon that you're actually, you know, going and starting a chase off of it instead of just kind of letting that info go to waste. In terms of, there was a third takeaway. Oh yeah, the third takeaway. Most of this is very demo related, or perk related. You said you as demo have a little bit of an edge over playing the end game than most killers do. Because when you put down your portal and you activate it by traveling through it, you get killer instinct on anybody that passes over it while you have your shred held open. And you didn't do this. Like, you set up one of the portals near one of the exit gates to try and do this, and then you just kind of like gave up on the idea for some reason. That is a very, very cool and good thing that you should be doing as Demogorgon to have a more secure and more consistent end game. So the fact that you kind of skipped down on that was kind of interesting. So I would definitely like commit to that idea in the future. That way you can have better end games. So yeah, those would be my 3. Once again, 2 of those are repeats, so please stop ignoring me. I mean that mostly jokingly, but like, seriously, please stop ignoring me. These 2 takeaways have been on your takeaways before. Please stop doing them. These are the things, this is your main homework. Please stop ignoring them.